A date is, of course, wonderful. Love, kisses, and all that. But not in those cases when you feel in real danger, or you are being watched, or something else bad is happening. Today, our heroes just came across this. Let's listen to them now. My first date. I've never kissed before. The guy asks for a permission to kiss. Okay, I tell him that I've never done this before, but nevertheless I allow it, and I get a cute kiss. Then again, I think that everything will be about the same, but no. He sucks me in and lets go of his hands. I freeze in shock. I feel his lips wrapping around my mouth, and my tongue tries to break through my lips. Then he goes even further and puts his hand between my legs, trying to stroke me through my jeans. I was horrified, embarrassed, and scared. He doesn't stop, and I seem to have lost my voice, and I can't tell him to stop. A couple of minutes later, the guy asks if I've ever been licked, and then my phone alarm goes off at 21:00. I say that this is my father. He calls me to go home. He reluctantly lets me go, not forgetting to note that I started it and must help with it before I leave. I politely turned away, and on the way home I got angry. This is not how I imagined my first date. Girls, write in the comments how often the guys cross the line on dates. You've been to different dates, right? Well, in percentage terms, I understand that you don't remember and all that. Well, for example, 3 out of 10 at least, like this. It's very interesting to find out. The guy I met was very insistent in flirting with me. He dragged me into the bar and ordered a drink for me. Then he started to drink faster and so on. I didn't want to get drunk with him. He ordered a soda vodka for me, and I kept a slightly painful expression on my face, hoping to attract the bartender's attention. When he looked at me, I almost rolled my eyes and barely noticed that I was shaking my head no. I watched the bartender pour me a drink, but under the guise of vodka, there was something like a soda in the glass. He also decorated the vodka with lime and everything else, handing over drinks to us and said, "Your health." This went on for a while until the alcoholic master wanted to leave. The bartender said to me, "Wait, you wanted to see Megan, right? She's just in the basement. Come in while the young man is paying the bill." I hid near the toilet, which was on the side, and watched the bartender flirting with that dude for a while. In the end, he left with an irritated look. When it was over, I went out, thanked the bartender, and he replied, "This happens to me much more often than everyone thinks." Then I was 20 years old. I went on a blind date, and it was arranged by a man I don't talk to anymore. My companion turned out to be a standard baddie from the student brotherhood. I didn't like guys like that, so I planned to leave from the very beginning. In general, he almost silently talked about himself, and every couple of minutes he was flirting with a strange expression on his face. I couldn't figure out the words, and with varying success I tried to ask him to repeat, but when it worked out, he ignored the request. In the end, I understood one of his phrases. "Your skin would look better on my wall." I approached the bartender, asked for help, and was taken to the car.no. But that's it, the clinic is just some kind of psychopath. I went to drink with the guy I met at the hostel in Prague. As soon as I left the hostel, I realized that it was all a mistake. We went to the bar next door. I took a picture of the bar and him while we were drinking. He didn't notice anything. I posted a photo on Snapchat, then recorded part of our conversation, and also added it with the inscription, "I have a bad feeling, just know." My mother, who was in another country, was horrified, but this is the only thing I could come up with to show my location. We discussed the trip, and I said that I was going to Poland that evening. I asked where he was from. He replied that he was from Prague. I wondered why he stayed at the hostel. I said to meet with friends. In general, the bad feeling intensified. I told him that I left my jacket at the hostel and will be back soon. I jumped into the nearest tram without paying and left right up to my bus to Poland, just admiring the sights. I arrived at the bus station at PM, 2 hours before my bus. I was talking on the phone, and this guy came up from behind, put his hand on my shoulder and said, "You left me." I'm shaking even now when I'm writing this. He sat next to me and began to persuade me to stay. He said that he had a great job for me and that I can go to Poland at any other time. I asked if anyone would know if I spent a few more days in Prague. I assured that a friend was meeting me in Poland. There was no friend. He offered money for me to stay. I didn't say how I was going to get to Poland, so it's crazy that he appeared at that time at this particular station 9 hours later. Fortunately, a man from London intervened, telling him to leave me alone in Czech. The creepy guy left, and the man asked when my bus. I said that in 2 hours. The man began to tell that the man was trying to take me into slavery, something about that if I took the money, it would be in accordance with the job he offered. He said that I needed to leave the country and not return for a while because that guy knew where I was because he and his assistants followed me all day for 9 hours. The Englishman told me to talk to my family on video until the bus left the station. He walked me to the door and waved his hand. I safely arrived in Poland. As soon as I left the hostel with that guy, I realized that something was wrong. Thank God. Since then, I have never experienced anything like this. A creepy story, isn't it? In fact, I can't help but think that this can happen in Poland. No, I understand. Somewhere in Africa. It's like, okay, I know what's going on. I'm not wearing any pink glasses. But damn, in Europe? Well, it's very strange. For example, we don't have this. Damn, what am I thinking? I'm sure there is no such thing. When I was 16, I was ready to go on a date with any boy I would invite because I thought I was missing the greatest opportunity in the world. So Josh was a friend of a guy, my best friend, and we were appointed a double-blind date. We were going to go to the cinema and watch a stupid Facebook movie, which came out around that time. The guy took us both, and then we went to pick up Josh. Josh decided that on this date he would wear his best outfit, a bright orange t-shirt, wide pants below the knees, and stupid sunglasses that everyone has. I immediately realized that I made a huge mistake. He gets in the car and first of all says that I'm not as fat as he thought. He smiles and asks how much I weigh, because he would like me to sit on him somehow. What? I tell him that it's impolite to ask girls such questions, and he is like, "Of course, baby," and rolls his eyes. Well, okay. We all sit awkwardly in the car while he makes stupid jokes. We pass the cinema hall and sit down. He immediately pours his drink on me. They start persuading me to change into his sweatshirt, like it's dark now and no one will see my shirt. I tell him that everything is fine. I look at my girlfriend and she kisses her boyfriend. Great. The movie was bad, but finally it's time to go home. Everyone decided that we need to go for a snack, and we go to the Zabagalovka, and I understand that I'm not hungry and I don't want anything. Josh doesn't like it, and he orders me a bunch of food and then waits for me to pay him. When I refused, he said that if I ate more, I wouldn't be a flat chest. At this point, I understand that I'm going to go home, but I don't go. He starts stealing my phone number. I give him a fake one, and then my girlfriend gave me a real one. He began to write to me that there was a werewolf inside him, and he was just waiting to eat me. He sent me photos of his bench for gym and said that it was there that he would lay me down. He posted photos of eggs, his dogs, and other horror. I blocked him, but the memories remained forever. Oh, this is a problem, of course, when you think that no one needs you, you will miss some important option in your life, and that's it, there will be no one else. As a result, you get into an abusive relationship, and that's it, Capits. My point is that you need to improve something. Move on in your career, do your body. In the end, go to the same gym, or at least buy a dog, for example, and walk. Well, somehow improve your physical shape. Well, I think the guys will pull up there. Well, or if you're a guy, then girls. The guy invited me on a date. We met at the specified place. At the end, I said that we would split the bill in half. He insisted that if he invited me, then he would pay. Sounds good, not bad, very nice of him. I began to say goodbye, but he insisted on driving me to the car since it was already night and I had to go home alone in an empty parking lot. I thought, wow, what a caring gentleman. We got to my car and he invited me to his place. I refused, since we didn't know each other well and the date didn't go so well. He grabbed me and started kissing. I withdrew, saying that on the first date it was not okay. He insisted, paid the bill, so I have to pay the debt to the body. He didn't let me get in the car and continued with the greedy aggression, kicking my body and grabbing my neck. I was scared, very scared. When his hand squeezed my neck, I couldn't breathe. I had to use self-defense skills. I knocked him down and he fell to my failure, hitting his head against the sidewalk and losing consciousness. I called the police to report the situation. I waited for their arrival, and this guy was still lying on the ground in a ditch. I testified. I returned home and immediately called my psychotherapist. I have no idea what happened to him later. I am very interested in this situation, how safe it is to do this at all. I lived in a small town where I knew literally everyone, and most men here are drug addicts and criminals. So I decided to look on the internet. I found a guy who lived in the same town, but I didn't know him. Suspicious, but damn, he had a very cute photo on his avatar, and in the end I agreed to meet him. At that time I was about 23 years old. I called my girlfriend to come with me, because safety comes first. And yes, he knew about it, he didn't mind. A man with a photo and a man with whom I met are two different people. In the photo, there was a guy of strong physique with black curly hair. This man was very tall, weighing about 180 kilograms, with straight chestnut hair. He was 45. He was in a cloak. He took us to the cemetery in the forest. He came up, hugged me by the waist, and said that he can do with us anything he wants. And no one will hear our screams in the forest. I rushed to my girlfriend, passed on his words, and we rushed to my uncle's house. I have never seen this man again in the city. Oh yes, how many dates people had when there was one dude in the photo, and a completely different one comes. Well, girls and guys, how much did you like these stories? Did you feel yourself in danger during their reading? I want to wish you that your dates brought you only extremely positive emotions and never these scary ones. Let's be respectful to each other. You don't really know a person from dating apps. These messages don't give anything. It seems to me that this acquaintance is much better just tete-a-tete. Come up to a girl, talk, get to know each other. Well, maybe I'm wrong. Maybe this is how you can learn something about a person. But I like it much more in the old way. Good, strong relationships to you, to your families, if they exist. Well, see you tomorrow. Chat gapped.